Tampa Bay's 98 Rock, the All Request Morning Show. It's a Wednesday morning, 32 minutes past 7 o'clock. Seabass and Marla hanging with you, along with the one and only Kenny Bernstein. Okay, Kenny Bernstein, the driver of the Budweiser King Fuel Dragster.
Yeah. Gonna be in Sarasota this weekend. Actually, I think it's Bradenton, DeSoto drag strip down there. So you haven't been there in quite a few years, you say?
No, we were there years ago, but it's been a long time. We're anxious to get back here. We've got a lot of fans for the Budweiser King here in this area, and it's been a great race. The Snowbirds are always a lot of fun. A lot of good cars going to be there. The Big Daddy Garlitz will be there himself, and Daryl Gwynn's car, and John Force, and you name it, we're going to go out there and pound the ground, make some noise.
Well, I was looking here that you once drove 301.7 miles per hour.
Yeah, we were lucky to be the first to break the 300 barrier, which is in Gainesville, Florida, a year ago, March the 20th, 1992, as a matter of fact, right here in the state of Florida. Great racetrack in Gainesville, and fortunately to be the first to break that 300 barrier was a great honor, and since then a lot of cars have done it, so who knows, it may happen again this weekend.
God, what's it like going that fast?
Just close your eyes and hang on.
I bet. I get up around 70, 75, and that's it for me.
Yeah, they say you just hang on after a certain point, you know? It's like the car driving you or something.
No, it's really not true at all. A lot of people think in drag racing that's what happens. You go straight for a quarter of a mile, and you just aim it and stab it and go. But that's not the case. The cars move around quite a bit. You do steer the cars. They do respond. Sometimes they do go perfectly straight. Sometimes they don't. So you do it to drive a little bit. It's a little bit of fun. It's just not long enough. 4.8 or 9 seconds. That gets over in a hurry.
Yeah, Seabass and I tried this drag racing thing at the, they let like regular folks come into the Sunshine Speedway right over here across the street. And we tried this. And, my reaction time's a little better. But, he's still bitching that he got the crappy car.
Oh, well, listen, they give her a vet, and they give me a probe.
Yeah, 1970 vet, too. Yeah.
That's close.
Well,
you
had
a great chance.
Yeah. Jeez.
So it was somehow against the clock or something, and he actually disqualified himself, but he still doesn't understand that. What is that called? Bracket racing?
He's a little confused there. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He broke out. I see. Well,
exactly, right.
We don't have that little problem with the Budweiser King. If we break out, that's great. We go real fast.
So some of the Bud babes are going to be there, too, I'm assuming.
I'm sure they'll be there. You bet. I knew you'd want to get into that.
Yeah.
You bet. Sure. There's got to be some great Bud babes around this part of the country, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Kenny, how'd you get into racing? When you were just a little kid growing up, did you have little race cars and stuff?
Oh, yeah. It's about the truth. I grew up in West Texas, and out in that part of the country, there's not a lot to do. You're in athletics or in cars or both. And fortunately, I was in both. And we grew up in an area where hot rods and customizing and all that basically started. And consequently, I just never really got away from it. Most guys grow up and go to college and get out of it and start something else. But I still enjoyed it so much, I kept doing it. Luckily, I got fortunate enough to sign up with Budweiser in 1980. This will be my 15th year with those people.
Wow.
And Quaker State and Mac Tools, people have been with for 8 to 10 years. And it's just made it really worthwhile to come out here and get to do it across the country and compete with the big boys and have some fun.
Well, racing is definitely one of the more dangerous sports you can partake in, if not the most dangerous.
Well, anything is, I guess, in life. If you look at, you can be out on the highway today, unfortunately, and if it's your time, it's your time. But we do up the odds. There's no question about that. When you're going 300 miles an hour in a quarter of a mile, a lot of things can happen. And at a point in time when you're in an accident in a race car, you are just a rider. You're just hanging on and hoping that you get through it all. That's for sure.
So you're driving around 300 miles an hour, and that kind of stuff happens.
And you just crashed into the wall.
Whoops.
We'll just shove them out of the way.
That's Matchbox cars. I get so excited, I just drive them around the studio when we get racers in here.
So how does it feel when you're just driving in normal traffic? Does it seem really slow to you?
Well, you get... People ask me that all the time. Obviously, it's true. But, when you do this for a living, and we race almost every weekend throughout the year, and you've done it for as long as I have, you really get the fun on the racetrack, and you don't take it out on the streets. I know when we were young, we used to jump up on the street pretty hard, but not anymore. No,
sure.
We just take it easy. Don't take the cops after me out there already this morning.
So it's happening this weekend, starting Friday, right through the weekend.
Yeah,
huh?
we're actually going to be out there tomorrow to do some running and testing, but the race starts on Friday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, qualifying Friday and Saturday, and then the race on Sunday itself. So hopefully it's a good weekend.
All right, you want to grab a call here? See who's on the phone?
Sure, be glad to.
What's that?
Okay, it's the pound 98 line. Cellular 1 pound 98 line. Okay, pal, no cussing. Hello.
Hey, Kenny Bernstein, how you doing?
Just fine. How are you this morning?
Good. I seen you run on March on do the 300. That was quite incredible. But my question for you is, I watch NHRA religiously, and I'm a member. But what is going to be the next goal now that everybody's broken into the 300s and everybody's down into the 4s? What's going to be the next big milestone?
Well, it's hard to say. We may have passed the two greatest milestones in the history of drag racing in the past couple of years. obviously 300 being number one, and then the funny cars in the 4-second zone, of course. But it's hard to say, but I would assume 350 would be the next milestone, and I don't think I'll be around doing that in those days, but you never know. These cars are going awfully quick, and as long as the rules don't change and they allow us to continue to go forward with technology, it'll go quicker and faster every week. That's just what happens. These mechanics are so good at what they do, they'll make it happen all the time.
Okay, now there's been a couple of guys who actually broke the speed of sound on land.
Well, yeah, those are rocket cars. The Budweiser rocket car did it years ago, went over 700 miles an hour. And, of course, that's in on the dry lakes beds out in Bonneville where you go 4 and 5 miles at a time and you get up to speed. But, we do this 300 miles an hour in 4.8 seconds. And these cars that I drive go from 0 to 100 in 1 second.
Wow, so I guess pretty much you're stuck back to the seat. It's not a problem leaning over digging for the keys on the floor or anything like that.
I don't have to go to a plastic surgeon and straighten my eyes out every week.
Oh, my God. 0 to 100 in 1 second. Do you have a CD deck or anything?
We listen to some good sounds as we're going.
Yeah, you could probably chop a couple of fingers clean off if the CD flew out of there at that rate of speed. Gee. Grab Hillsboro 1. Somebody else had another question.
On Hillsboro?
Yeah, Hillsboro 1. No cussing. Hello. Oops. Hello.
Switching gears a little bit here. I'm a big NASCAR fan. What are your plans for Bet Bodine next year? I want to see you win a couple of races.
Well, yeah, we'd like to see us win a couple of races too, my friend. Don't kid yourself. We'll continue on with the Quaker State Ford, and Brett will drive for us next year. I was just in Charlotte the last 3 or 4 days working on some things, and everything's in order. We'll just go out and get him well right now. As you know, he broke his arm pretty badly in Dover in September, and that pretty much put an end to our season because he was about 50% the rest of the year, and that was it. So right now he's doing some serious rehabilitation to get his arm back in shape and get ready for next season. But we're real happy about it. We'll be fine. Brett's a good boy, and if we can turn up that intensity a little bit, get him healthy, I think he'll be fine.
All right, well put, Kenny. And I'll tell you what, this weekend, if you want to check it out, you want to check out Kenny Bernstein and the Snowbird Nationals, we'll take 2 callers from Pinellas right now and 2 callers from Hillsboro. How's that?
Yep, need to know the numbers. Here they are. Hillsboro 990, Pinellas 572. They, of course, both end in 0098. Or if you're in the car, speaking of cars, just grab up the cellular one, pound 98 line, and we'll pay for that call for you.
All right, there you go. Good luck. News, weather, and Big Chief Sports coming up in about 10 minutes. But first, let's take a look at traffic with the Wolfman.
And we've got some bad drivers out there this morning, Seabass.
17 minutes in front of 8 at 98 Rock's All Request Morning Show. We're sitting here with Kenny Bernstein. Hey, Kenny, thanks for coming by this morning.
Hey, it's great to be here. You guys are wonderful. I hope to see you this weekend, and all the fans come on down to DeSoto.
I just found out Kenny's got a fat boy. I'm going to have to ride down there with some of the boys and hang out. Maybe we'll get to go riding, huh?
Anytime. I'll jump on that bike anytime. We brought it all the way from California in the trailer.
See, I can't believe that. I don't know how many times I've invited Marla to ride my fat boy, and she's passed on it every time.
I'm passing again. That's why you go get your on there. You know.
Hey.
Now, we're not going any kind of 300 miles an hour or anything like that, are we?
No. My fat boy's a nice little cafe cruiser.
Exactly. It's like nice, slow, leisurely kind of rides for me.
So don't miss Kenny and the Snowbird Nationals this weekend. It's going to be cool.
Thanks for being here, bud. We've got some more tickets, too, to pass along, so we'll send a few more people your way.
You bet.
Cool.
We got a song here for you, Kenny. Highway Star, Deep Purple on 98 Rock.